Hey guys, welcome to Day 10, Understanding DDL versus DML. Every data engineer eventually realizes that not every statement is same. Some of them define the structure of your databases while some of them insert the data into it or fills it with the data. The statements which are used to fill the data are called the statement which are used to structure the data are called data definition language, that is DDL, whereas the statement that are used to fill the data are called data manipulation language. DML, data manipulation language. They look similar at the first glance, but their role as a data engineer are very different. The diagram that you are seeing, the picture that you are seeing, will show what is DDL, what is DML. So, for example, the DDL is having statements like create, alter, drop, and truncate, whereas the DML is having the statements like select, insert, update, and delete. The two sides of SQL. Think of your database as an house. When you lay the foundation, build rooms, and decide how the wiring should run, that's DDL. That's DDL, creating a blueprint. When you move the furniture, paint walls, and rearrange things, that's the data manipulation language. By definition, DDL stands for data definition language and tells these commands they'll spark when the database how the database should look like, what the database should look like. Use DDL when you are creating, altering, and removing objects. So these we just saw that create is used to create a new object, alter is used to alter the definition of an object, drop is used to delete the object, and truncate is used to remove all the data but keep the structure. Let's see some of the examples. Creating a database, we have already seen in earlier videos. It's like create database. If not exist, we can create a database. Within the database, you can add one table, like create or replace table, table name, and then the columns of the table. You can alter the table, alter table, table name, add columns. You can add a column called email. You can drop the table, drop table if exist employees. Data manipulation language. Understanding what is data manipulation language is very important. DML deals with inserting, updating, and deleting the record. So we can insert, update, delete, and select. Insert for inserting the data, update for updating the data, delete for removing the data, and select for data retrieval. We have already seen, but let's repeat, like insert into table name, columns, values, you can pass all the values. Updating the data, update table name, set column is equal to this particular value where employee ID is equal to 11. We can delete a specific record, delete from table where department ID is equal to 4. We can retrieve a particular data set like select columns from employees where salary is greater than 70,000. For a data engineer, understanding DDL and DML isn't just academic, it's operational. So for example, if you are working in the team and then let's say a DDL change is going on, it's time your ears you should go on a double alert because a DDL change changes the structure of the table itself. So it is going to impact multiple things. Wherever that table is getting passed on, though all those things are all those consumers will be impacted. So DDL change is a big change. Whereas if there is a simple data change that is happening, you should be alert, but it may or may not break your code. So therefore, understanding the DDL versus DML philosophy is very important. On the similar lines, whenever you give permissions of that particular table or database to different folks, it is important to understand DDL versus DML. So for example, the DML is important when the DML is important when you are giving some permissions to, let's say, you are giving some permissions to analyst or maybe dashboard user. You may just want to give them the select. Then if you are building the job, you may want to give some DML permissions of update, delete, insert, and select. But then for creating the databases, you might want to give DDL permission, but that will only be given to a admin user or maybe a job in case it is needed. So this way it is very important that we sometimes distinguish which permission which guy should hold based on whether it's a DDL or DML statement. So DDL and DML are two languages every data engineer must be fluent in. DDL builds the bone of your data system, whereas DML fills it with life. Without DDL, there is nowhere to store the data. Without DML, there is nothing worth storing. Understanding when to use each is very important, and that separates someone who just write the query to a first-class data engineer. Thank you guys for listening to this. Please do subscribe. Thanks.